Hello, this is Gorath. Welcome to the Otherworld mod demonstration. Let's jump into it. This is a Crusader. Crusaders are all around Otherworld, and they have lots of special items for sale. As you can see, their names are randomly generated. He has a nice little variety of loot. This is a novice armor hammer. This can be used with runes to craft. Here's a willpower token. Plus 3 to willpower as long as I hold it, but it weighs like 10 pounds. This rune can be used with that hammer. Nice little assortment of potions and such. It's a little gamble sword. Gives me random effects. Many unique items in the game have several effects, such as retribution. It does extra damage to undead, as well as heals you whenever you attack undead with it. Here's one that has a special ability that does damage equal to your destruction skill. Here's the Fragarak. This is actually a quest sword which has 3 very nice abilities. Let's move on. This is the Shattered Barrel. Some standard weapons, but a unique merchant.
What?
I'll show you why.
Can I interest you in some of my wares?
As you can see, just simple weapons, but then we have these. These are equipable finisher moves. These can be used with a finisher blade if it's enchanted. I'll buy up these, and I'll demonstrate this more in detail later. Right now what we're worried about is this Charm of Memory. Yes, I brought back Mark and Recall into Otherworld because I felt fast travel is a sissy way to get around. See, now that you buy it, Mark is added and Recall is added. You're buying the spells through the item. There's many messages in the game, like this one, which can help you along. It'll explain to you exactly what you just picked up. Allow me to go demonstrate how exactly Mark and Recall works if you haven't played Morrowind, or if you don't quite understand what it is that it does. Basically, you stand anywhere in the world, you mark a place. I'm gonna mark this part in town. Now, I'm gonna go to a random ruin. Grave Shadow Hollow, that sounds fun. Grave Shadow Hollow is a creepy little ruin that you have to go to one of your first quests. Anyway, we're not really interested in that. See, I go and I activate my recall spell as my active spell, cast it, and I'm where I last placed my mark. Let's go do some dungeon crawling. These are standard monsters and creatures and NPCs that you'll see in the wilderness. See, this is a cursed knight. The forces of Samhain have equipped this knight with special armor and weapons. As you can see, they have the standard amount of loot, which consists of runes and potions. Nice, keep you going, keep you crafting. As well as this one actually has some enchanted items. And see this. The Wing and the Slayer, they're part of a system of weapons that is actually pretty big. Many types of them. Many times you'll see something like this. It'll be a undead Gorian, excuse me, rising from the ground. Alright, let's go ahead and enter the room. This is the ruin of an old Gorian stronghold. As you can see, there's Gorians that still man the fort, but they're obviously undead. Yes, some Gorians are mages. They can use the weapons, but they usually go down pretty easily. Their cloth armor is dwindled. As you can see, this was a Gorian champion. Its distinct yellow color tells you that its abilities include augmenting strength and speed. Now, search around these bodies. Of course, who doesn't need more rooms? And we'll move on to the next part of the dungeon. As you can see, this is one of the many uniquely generated prefix and suffix monsters. Whenever they die, they give off a powerful magic spell that actually damages you. So even if you kill it, he might still kill you after death. As you can see, some of my items are actually breaking from all this combat. Yeah, standard potion loot, of course, runes. You're probably going to find many, many runes. And as you see, this is a warped warrior. Warped warrior is again one of those enemies that have certain augmented stats. The warped warrior specifically has an augmented endurance and attack, but it also lacks intelligence and willpower, so it's susceptible to spells. Alright, and that's enough of this rune. This is actually a pretty short rune compared to most of the others. Most of the others are very big in comparison. Let's take a quick walk out into the wilderness. See loading creatures. Creatures are loaded dynamically, and like I told you, that their prefix and suffixes are generated. It's like Fallen Crusader. This is a Crusader that's been corrupted and went over to the dark side. This, of course, is one of Samhain's acolytes. He has a very unique item, though. It's a scroll to summon a cursed minion. You ever wondered why these things are crawling all around? It's because of these guys. They found a way to make more of these little liches that are fouling the earth. Well, it's not like the earth, but it's the Otherworld. Let's move on to some menu items. Show you how they work. Here we have some sharpening stones. I'll show you how these work. And you can see Fragrack, this condition's pretty bad. I'm going to switch to a weapon with a higher health so I can actually show you what this does. See, the health was at 97. Now, we're going to go ahead and use our stones. Sharpen this blade up. And now it actually has higher than 100% because of the sharpening stone. Sharpening stones can get well beyond 125 health. It's quite remarkable if you can gather a lot of them. Of course, we have the several tokens and such. Some of them are unique, like this Berserker's Adrenaline gives plus to all my combat skills, like blade and blunt and heavy armor and things like that. Here's this finishing enchanter I was talking about. You see, whenever you click on it, it will give you a gem. This gem will be for finishing moves. Currently, I don't have any weapons I can add finishing move charges to. But there's gems like these all around the wilderness found as loot. Each of them, some of them give to armor, some of them give to weapons only, some of them give to both. For instance, this one heals you from undead, such as Retribution. Of course, here's the finishing moves. This one adds 20 damage to any weapon. Of course, my long list of runes. See, each rune can actually be extracted. When you extract it, it's its own gem that can be put into a weapon. Or you can combine these runes together and create a separate enchantment that's actually pretty good in most cases. This one, Thunder, is actually pretty weak though, but what do you expect out of a novice hammer? Now what happens whenever you try to make something you don't have the runes for? Well, obviously you're going to need an error message. You don't have the required runes. Let's say we wanted to craft a weapon next. We can check our weapon crafting list, and we can see what runes exactly make things. Sometimes you need more than one type of rune. Alright. Now finally I want to show you exactly how this finisher works. See how I'm surrounded by enemies? I'm going to go ahead, enchant my item with the finisher. I guess I'll just name it the finisher. I think that's fine. Create it. Scroll down, the finisher, equip it. And we'll equip push to get these enemies off us. Each time I hit, I'm going to get charges. These charges build up, Well, I'm not gonna get many charges out of him. I'm gonna go ahead and attack the zombie. Alright, now watch. See how the enemies all get pushed back